This is Africa Link. If you want to react, go to our Facebook page, DW Africa. And in case you are just joining us, this is DW's Africa Link program coming to you live from our studios here in Bonn, Germany. Once more, my name is Mimi Mefo.
And I am Michael Oti. Remember that we are live on our partner radio stations spread across the continent, as well as on our Facebook page, DW Africa.
African culture has a long and rich tradition of creative expression. Its arts, music, dance, and fashion inspire artists and creatives around the world.
But the problem is that most African nations lack the spaces where their own artists can work. And that needs to change if the continent wants to benefit culturally and economically from its creative arts. And here's a story on this subject by Killian Ngalla.
Silence on set. Sound rolling. Camera.
Cameroonian filmmaker Fonban Emmanuel tells his actors to get ready for action.
Action!
But who is that lady I met you right now?
Very good.
It's tough to get them where he needs them to shoot the scene.
You have to. For you take it slow.
That's because they are working in a cramped rental space. It doesn't need to be like this, says Fonban.
In many countries that have very established film industries, there are particular areas that are designed to be able to offer filmmakers a good space where they could be able to realize their story. In Cameroon here, we have a very great challenge because such facilities are not there. And even for some of the facilities that we deem that we could exploit in order to tell our stories properly, those facilities sometimes are very, very difficult to access.
The lack of basic infrastructure makes it harder for Cameroon's filmmakers to live up to their talents, says Fonban. That then limits people's access to movies made by Cameroonians for Cameroonians.
Films play a very, very important role in promoting cultures, and it sends a signal such a way that people are able to feel their relevance. So when the government do not invest in the film industries in such a way that filmmakers can be able to sell local stories, the population would always in turn tap from what is outside.
It's a similar situation around the continent. Many governments have failed to plan spaces where artists can work, and that limits the immense potential of Africa's flourishing creative sector, including its economic contribution. Joy Mboya is the head of a prominent arts center in Kenya. She points out that a decade ago, the creative sector contributed some 5% of Kenya's GDP.
That's quite high. Now, we know that the ground has shifted significantly. Some people estimate that we're now sitting at anything between kind of 8 to 10%. In the UK, it is over 10% for sure. You can see the size of the industry of film alone in places like India and places like the US. So yes, we can really see that there is prosperity and wealth that is being generated from the creative economy, in addition to the social capital that we get around identity and belonging.
The United Nations estimates that Africa's creative industries generate about $4.2 million and more than 500,000 jobs. It could be much more if Africa's urban planning policies start to be more inclusive of the creative sector. That's according to Pierluigi Bozzi, a cultural diversity professor in Madagascar.
A new vision that inspires a transformative planning of cities can be a powerful direct and indirect driver of change. The advance of an inclusive creative economy is the advance of culture, an effective tool for the creation of material and intangible spaces of African values. These spaces of creativity and traditions can generate economic cultural expressions as well as socio-economic positive externalities.
Killian Ngalla with that report.
U-Zone.